This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn, and during the next 2 hours, we're going to take a look at some aspects of health that touch each and every one of us, from how to be happy and why we need to be happy, and that's what we're going to start with in just a couple of moments, to learning more about the Natural Products Association, which we talk about a lot here on the show, with Joy Akins. She is the Regulatory Affairs Manager for the NPA, and she is in studio with us. And hello, Joy.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me here today.
Our pleasure. After seeing me in D.C. with a cocktail in my hand, you still came over, right?
I'm hoping there were still cocktails here.
Yeah, there might very well be.
It could be a requirement by the time we're done.
Yes, exactly. We're going to go right now to Orange County, California. I met a young woman several months ago who has such an infectious smile. I was drawn to her, as were other people in the room. And that was before she got up on stage to speak. We're going to visit with Valerie R. Sheppard. She's teaching self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-love. She's the author of the soon-to-be-released Living Happy to Be Me. Valerie, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you, Mark. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for your compliment. I appreciate that.
I'm serious. In fact, Daryl, go ahead and look her up. You're gonna.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Quietly in the background.
Quietly in the background. He looks at all of our pretty women guests.
Awesome.
Really. Tell us a little bit of. Well, let me start this way. Have you always been happy?
That's a trick question. No, yeah. I haven't. No. It's been an interesting journey, and I'm really happy these days, but I haven't always been happy. And that's kind of passionate. That's why I'm passionate about what I do.
Tell us about your journey, as you said, your path.
Well, I consider myself a recovering corporate executive on radical sabbatical. And it's been going on for a while now. I don't see myself going back to corporate America in my old role, potentially as a chief happiness officer or something like that. So anybody out there, if you want to give me that executive job, I'm willing to take it.
Could I be the assistant? I get coffee really good.
Okay, that would be great, Mark. We'd have a good old time.
Yeah.
But the sabbatical has really involved a fairly complete personal transformation. And the whole idea was that in addition to being successful and prosperous, I could also be wildly happy and deeply fulfilled. And those are pretty critical. And I was looking at them in the past. I was conditioned to believe that fulfillment and happiness was like this spot that you get to on this path, like a really nice hotel, you kind of get, or a nice resort, you kind of land there after you've done a life of struggle and strife and earning. And so I was pretty much, in spite of, success, I'd made it to vice president of a major corporation. And so like, despite the success and the worldly stuff, and I made a good amount of money, I was stressed, overwhelmed, and unhappy. And I really thought, the biggest thing was that I thought the trouble was outside of me. And now I know much better. And as I've embodied what I know about where real happiness comes from, and my life has gotten easier and more sweet and more flexible. And I'm kind of passionate about sharing it to help others experience that, preferably a lot sooner in life than when I figured it out. And ultimately, for me, it's about the whole planet. Like, how do we create more peace and love and joy and freedom on the planet?
And you're happy, yet you've had some health issues.
Yeah.
I mean, that has to be like more than a slap on the side of the head. That's like being hit, in your case, with a sledgehammer, wasn't it?
It was a sledgehammer. I was doing what I love doing, so I was at the University of California, Irvine, teaching a leadership workshop to a group of staff and faculty at the school. We were in a big conference room in the student center. It was an all-day workshop. And around 2:30 in the afternoon, we just finished a breakout session and we were debriefing it. And I like to mill around and get close to people that I'm speaking with. And so I was backing up in order to get back to my computer where I was kind of driving the PowerPoint slides that went with my presentation. And I started to back up and my foot wouldn't move. And long story short, I was having a catastrophic hemorrhagic stroke. A blood vessel had burst in my brain. I'd never I'm too young as far as I'm concerned to be contemplating a stroke.
Absolutely.
So I had no idea what was going on. And they kind of cleared the room, and the person that I was working with as my point of contact called 911. And I literally, Mark, I thought at that moment that they would come and like give me some electrolytes or something, and we would finish the rest of the afternoon.
Wow.
And I would go on to have a great weekend. And, then all kinds of craziness started happening, and I slipped into a coma, and things were not great for a while. So,
may I ask how old you were at the time of the stroke? And it's been about a year.
We're inside 2 weeks from a year. So it's coming up on the anniversary of the stroke, and I was 53.
Oh my, you're young. And at the same time, in 2 weeks, from the time we were recording this, your book is coming out.
Yes, it is.
Did you do that on purpose?
I don't think so, because the book comes out on the 8th. I was just looking for a perfect time in kind of the timeline of me. When would feel like a good time? When would I be not rushing? I mean, the book was supposed to come out last year, and then I had a stroke. And so it kind of got shifted around, and, I asked the book, is it ready? And I asked myself, am I ready? And I chose a date that felt like it fit on all the different parameters.
And we will let everybody know that if you want the book, you can go to happytobeme.net or go to latenighthealth.com. We'll have a link directly to that website, and you'll be able to get more of Valerie's information. And check us out on Twitter and Facebook, because we will be sharing this interview there as well. happytobeme.net. Joy, did you have a question for Valerie?
I did. Valerie, I heard you talking about that the book was kind of delayed due to your stroke last year. How much of the book was completed, and how much did you change after you started to recover from your stroke?
I really haven't changed any of the book. It's the story of the book, and what it's here to do really is not dependent on this stroke or me recovering from it. I think what the stroke, I feel like the stroke is a spiritual experience more than a physiological one. There are definitely physiological ramifications that I'm still dealing with. But from a spiritual level, I see myself as a messenger of spiritual teachings and higher consciousness living. The stroke is helping me embody what I teach. So the book, Living Happy to Be Me, Dancing Your Soul Lifestyle, is about bringing yourself from anything that gets in the way of you expressing the highest version of you possible. For me, the title of the book, where it says Living Happy to Be Me, the M-E stands for Magnificent Essence. And that's the divinity of all of us. And the book talks about the journey that I've taken from the lowercase M-E, which for me is mighty ego, being driven by a whole bunch of things that didn't necessarily serve me, although they were fun and good. They weren't really for the best for me. And then getting to this elevated place where I see and know and honor myself as a divine being, a spiritual, human, integrated being. And that even though we're living here and, this can be a tough situation, planet Earth, you've got strokes and cancer and homelessness and, murder and all kinds of things, but there's a way to live here at a place where you can feel the joy that you already are all the time, even while you're dealing with recovering from a catastrophic stroke. And that was one of the best realizations for me. Well, I did a lot of laughing in the hospital when I woke up in ICU, we took some kooky pictures. My mother, of course, was mortified that I would post those on Facebook, but we took some pictures of me in my gown, and, half my body wasn't working. But we were laughing and eating nothing but cakes, and, it was like, what else are you going to do? Accept,
Exactly.
allow, and receive.
Valerie, by the way, and I met at the Global Influence Summit and the EBC in San Diego this year, and she is a beacon of light. Everybody gravitates to her. She is such an open soul. Our guest, we have two one in studio, one on the phone. On the phone, we're talking with Valerie Sheppard, teaching self-awareness. She's the author of Living Happy to Be Me. Go to happytobeme.net. And also from the Natural Products Association, our friend Joy Akins, the Regulatory Affairs Manager. All right, we're going to take some time out. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Valerie. And by the way, at the half-hour break, we're going to be talking with Dr. Michael Lynn about summer skin. That's what will happen, taking care of your skin for the summer here on Late Night Health. Join us at latenighthealth.com. Lots of information going on there. The insane Daryl Wayne and I return. Don't go away. More coming up.
Late Night Health with Mark Alyn will return in a moment.